Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys Night Lab. I'm Jesus Velasquez.
I'm Jordan Zacharias.
And welcome to another episode of Flick or Treat. And in today's episode, we're going to focus on, you know what? I had this conversation with my wife, and she was talking about how, so believe it or not, as much as I like scary movies and horror movies, my wife hates them. So
Mine too.
she's not a big fan of them, but she likes the treat part of our Flick or Treats when we talk about like Halloween candy or Halloween songs or Halloween costumes or Halloween memories or anything like that. So I figured, you know what? Why don't we make a list of movies that maybe like my wife or other people that may not like horror movies or gory movies or scary movies that maybe they could enjoy for Halloween. So we're going to call this episode Lightweights.
Lightweights,
So
I like it.
These movies are, I think, that people that don't like scary movies or horror or anything very intense, these movies I think would be perfect to get you in the Halloween spirit. They're a little...
Would you say they're a little more tame?
They're a little more tame, not as gory. There might be some gore, but not like gory where it's grotesque and just disturbing.
And obviously the subject matter is not too intense
Yes.
or too frightening.
And some of these movies are
Why
very...
does it say Exorcist?
Yeah, and some of these movies are more story driven, so
Right.
so people might like that. So the first movie I'm going to talk about is Cloverfield. It's an
Yeah, I love
amazing
that
movie.
one.
This is, and people might say that this isn't a horror movie or Halloween movie, but we're going to throw it in there because it's definitely a creature feature. And so like if you don't know what
those.
a creature feature is like Godzilla, where Godzilla doesn't fall into like the Halloween category, but it is a monster, a creature feature, monster, King Kong, not the Swamp Thing, Creature from the Blue Lagoon.
You think about Friday nights or Saturday mornings as a kid, those classics they would run on TV, you know?
So if you haven't seen Cloverfield, it's a movie of it's by Abrams, J.J. Abrams. Great movie. It's handheld. It's the found footage type. It's funny. There's a great story. There's a love story. There's a lot of not a lot of action, but perfectly spaced out action, suspense, romance, and stuff like that. It's a great movie. Great creature feature. Abrams is an excellent director, movie writer. So it's a movie that I don't want to really talk about too much because I don't want to give it away because you should check it out. But Cloverfield is a movie that you should check out this Halloween.
It's a really fun one.
All right, this next one, Jordan thought I should put it on here. I liked it. But
Trust me, no. This is not one I like. Just to be clear,
he loves it.
I don't even really. I think I've seen this whole movie.
Right, Jordan.
Every girl I've ever talked to loves this movie though, so I'm like, we got to put this on the list because this is one that is a quintessential like Halloween movie. I think for a lot of our female audience. So that's the one we're going to mention here.
I love it. And the movie we're talking about is Hocus Pocus. I kind of like
it's popular. It's
I
really
like I
popular.
kind of like Hocus Pocus. Okay. Let me phrase. What I like about Hocus Pocus is it's very Halloweeny.
Right.
You know, like there's a lot of Halloween stuff going on.
Yeah, just keep trying to justify it.
It's not like it's funny because it's like it's a kids movie, but it's not like a kids movie. Like there's definitely like some adult themes going on here and
Okay.
there, but I understand why people love it because it's everything about it. It's like Halloween Town, you know. It's like
Right.
it's like the Hallmark Christmas movies that girls love. Like this is what that is for Halloween.
It's always called like, so this is Christmas. And there's some girl in the front going like,
yeah. It's like,
and there's a guy always in the background
That's right.
like smiling like, I'm gonna get her.
it's like the girls for the Hallmark Christmas, like the girls married to like the businessman, and then it's like, but
That guy's too busy to really take care about his
right.
family.
oh, this guy over here who plays guitar and works on his truck, he's the guy for me. Anyways, Hocus Pocus is nothing like that, but I'm sure most of you guys know what Hocus Pocus is, so go check it out. It's a fun movie. It's like on ABC Family or it's probably not going to be on
It's about witches.
It's not going to be on AMC Horror Horror-thon, but definitely it is a movie that I will give it. It definitely gets you in the Halloween spirit and mood.
Fair enough.
Okay, next movie, great movie. If you haven't seen this movie, I don't know where you've been the last 20 years, but Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. There's
That's a great
there's
one.
some scary parts. It's by M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, and again, it's a good one to be able to show someone it's more tame.
Yeah.
It's more psychological than anything.
That's right. More,
Yeah.
it's not a thriller, but there's definitely scary aspects. It has to do with like ghosts and stuff
But
like
it's
that.
not really a full horror movie.
No. It's more like it's more of a ghost story.
Yep.
And so, but that's that's enough to make our list for Halloween.
Yeah.
But there's definitely scary elements and jump scares and stuff like that. But it's more story driven, so that's a perfect movie for you lightweights out there. Okay, so this next movie is actually for you lightweights. It's a little more advanced.
Okay.
It's like after your first recital of Halloween viewings. It's kind of like, all right, let's go to stage 2.
Okay, what
but
do we got?
it's an excellent movie. It's a little creepier, but it's an amazing movie. A Quiet Place. It was written and directed
okay.
by John Krasinski, who's Jim from The Office. And I
And
heard
his wife's in it too.
and his wife's
Emily
in it.
Blunt, right?
Yeah, excellent movie. I mean, probably one of the best movies of last year, or it was 2 years ago. And I can't say enough about this movie. It's you have to watch it, even if you don't like scary movies. Like you have to watch it. The creatures.
I still got to get around to this whole
Oh,
thing.
you haven't
dude.
seen
I
it?
still haven't finished it.
You got to watch
finish it.
The
Yeah.
creatures are scary, but it's not like scary enough where it's like they're gonna give you nightmares as an adult.
Okay.
If it's like kids, I mean, if
I
you were,
think it's rated R, dude, isn't it? I don't think you should be showing it to kids.
I can't remember if it's rated
I'm
R.
pretty sure it's rated R.
There's no swearing, there's no nudity, there's no nothing, there's no grotesque scenes. It's just very intense. It is intense because the movie is called A Quiet Place, and I saw it in the movie theaters, and it was silence. It's crazy. You have to check it out.
Okay.
It's very emotional, and it's very emotional, intense, and story driven. So
I'll finish it this year.
yeah, I think you should definitely watch it and check it out.
Okay.
Like I said, it's level 2 of the lightweights, but it's
So like you
definitely
said, a little more advanced.
a little more
okay.
advanced, but it's not disgusting. It's not like inappropriate, disturbing, or gory or anything like that. So
Okay.
it's very well. It's tasteful in the sense of how when they present something that's scary or creepy, it's just really well done movie. All
Okay.
right, next movie on the list may not be as tasteful, but it's not as scary. A little movie called Beetlejuice.
Oh, dude, it's one of my all-time favorites.
So Beetlejuice is by Tim
Tim
Burton and Michael
One of his
Keaton,
early
Alec
ones.
Baldwin, Gina Davis.
I
It's
think we're talking like 1980, what? 1980s.
88?
Yeah, 88, 89.
Yeah, and it's a movie that has to do with these people that die, and they have a handbook called The Recently Deceased.
Yep.
And so they're supposed to be scaring these people out of their house. But all this stuff happens. Anyways, it's more of a horror. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's a horror. Like Tim Burton's kind of like
It's a dark comedy.
Yeah,
Like adventure, like almost like a fantasy.
yeah,
It's like a horror fantasy comedy.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how
And
else
Michael
to say it.
Keaton does an amazing job.
Think of like The Burbs. That's another good one too.
Oh, The
like we
Burbs.
haven't talked about that one.
Well,
That's a great
let's just
one. But
throw that one on the list.
yeah,
The Burbs.
let's talk about that one.
So The Burbs. Well, we'll get to Burbs in a second. Let's just finalize Beetlejuice here. Beetlejuice is funny. Beetlejuice is scary, and Beetlejuice is a dark comedy. There, I said it 3 times.
And you know what? I don't think I've seen anyone who didn't like it.
Yeah, it's definitely there might be some.
It's a pretty universally
There's
beloved
not any
movie.
crude jokes in it, but it could be a little crude at times, but not like over.
Michael Keaton drops the F-bomb once, which
Yeah.
is why it's PG-13, I think.
And there's like
So,
he goes
not good for kids.
He
but,
goes to like a strip joint or a brothel.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
Other than that, it's nothing you can't handle.
It's
So,
a great movie. It's honestly, in looking at my not Mount Rushmore, but looking at top 10s for just overall fun movies that I could put in and watch anytime, Beetlejuice is one of them.
Okay, so let's just jump to The Burbs then.
Yeah, let's talk about that one.
So The Burbs is no, that one's not Tim Burton. That one's
No, I actually forget who directed that one, but that's starring Tom Hanks. It's got what's
Corey-
her name, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher,
It's got
Corey
Corey
Feldman.
Feldman. It's got Daniel Stern. It's got Laura Stern's dad. He's the neighbor.
oh the what's his name?
Yeah, about a 9 on the
that's
attention
a
scale
9
there,
on- yeah.
Rube. Yeah, no, but and
Yeah,
it's
he's
cool.
great.
We were just watching a movie too. What movie were we watching where we realized the block that they filmed on was the Burbs block? It was from this movie.
Oh, no, not Friday the 13th.
Was it Friday the 13th, the series, or was it a movie we watched?
It was. I think it was a movie we watched because we're like,
Okay.
oh, that's from The Burbs.
Okay, Fright Night.
It's,
It might have been Fright Night.
Oh, it was Friday night. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Friday night.
So Fright Night actually
yeah.
shares the same backlot where
That's
they
right.
filmed it.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So anyway, the Burbs. I think what year is that one?
The Burbs is 89.
89. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's funny. There was a lot of dark comedy horror movies coming out
Yeah.
at this time. There was like The Burbs and Beetlejuice and that kind of vibe. There's a few of them like that.
Well, I wouldn't even say this one's. I would say this one's more. It's definitely a dark comedy, but it lends itself more to a comedy than a dark comedy.
Totally.
So,
Totally.
it's not an outright comedy, but there's definitely like the dark elements of like
Yeah.
it's kind of creepy and stuff like that.
But that's one you could easily show to your wife or girlfriend.
Oh
and
yeah,
they'll
for
laugh
sure.
at it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Or it's one that's not that intense. There's funny
Yeah.
parts, and there might be some parts, especially like the dream sequence with the chainsaw
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
But
it's so funny.
other than that,
Yeah.
it's not anything you can't handle. All right, so the next movie is a movie by was Sam Raimi? Not Sam Raimi. Sam
We're
Sam
talking about
Ramis,
Ivan Reitman's classic.
Ivan Reitman's, yeah. Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
probably the
One of my
movie
favorite movies of all time.
in general, the one of people's favorite movies of all time, no matter Halloween or not. But
Yep.
it's Ghostbusters. Has to do with Halloween. That theme song is universally played at Halloween time. What's there to say about Ghostbusters that you don't already know?
Yeah.
It's great. It's got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd,
Everyone knows about
Ernie
Ghostbusters.
Hudson. Yeah, everyone. So it's not scary. There's some scary parts at times, but it's definitely a fun movie. It's a comedy, but it's like an adventure comedy ghost story. And
And if you want even more laughs, I don't know if it's definitely not as good of a movie. Sorry to interrupt, but I was going to say the second one is fun too. If you haven't seen the
Ghostbusters
second one in
2,
a
yeah.
while, yeah.
it got panned hard when it first came out, but it's not as bad if you check it out again.
Yeah.
It's hard to live up to a masterpiece like Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Go check that one out. The other one, right? Okay, so I put this one on the list, and Jordan thinks it's
I disagree with this
level 2, level 3.
This is level 2, level 3. I'll tell you why.
I don't know.
Make
Okay.
your argument. Make your argument.
I put Jaws, and I don't think Jaws is that scary. I don't think Jaws. Okay, and I already know what your defense is going to be, but I don't agree with it. So Jaws is, I don't even think it's like classified as a horror movie, but it's on there. But it's definitely a movie you can watch at Halloween time. It's definitely scary elements and stuff like that. But before I go any further, I just want Jordan to rebuttal and give his lame response of why it's not.
No, all I was going to say is that's one that my wife will never watch because she loves the beach. So immediately you lose people who want to enjoy the beach again because it will turn off people from swimming in the water for a while. Number 2, a lot of people forget that even though it's only rated PG, you have a severed head in it. You have Quinn getting
kid.
eaten alive, and while he has blood spurting out of his mouth, and the shark is biting through his rib cage and everything. So yeah, you have
How old
that.
was he?
You have...
He was like 12.
No, Quinn. The
Sorry, sorry.
No, he's getting eaten alive. By the
Yeah,
shark
that's
at
right.
the end.
At the end, yeah, at
It's
the end.
brutal,
I forgot about
dude.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. So people forget how violent that one is and how shocking it is. It's like Temple of Doom. I know friends who go, "Oh, we're starting to show our kids the Indiana Jones movies." I'm like,
Oh, yeah, Temple of
really?
Doom with the
like they
brains
forget
and the
about
heart,
those.
yeah.
They forget each one has some brutal
So
stuff in
so
it.
Jaws has the severed head.
All I'm saying is the gore element is actually there and people forget about it. So just be aware of that.
Okay,
That's all.
there's and then the kid.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some elements in Jaws that
They could be traumatic.
they could be traumatic. So Quiet Place and Jaws level 2, level 3.
Yeah.
Jaws is fine. But according to Jordan, level 2, level 3. Next movie I have on our list is Signs, another M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's a great sci-fi.
It's probably another one a lot of people have seen.
Yeah, it's a great sci-fi thriller. Has to do with aliens.
It's a fun one.
It's a fun one. Great story driven. There's some scary moments, but it's definitely fun.
No gore, nothing
No
gross.
gore, nothing. No bad. I mean, not bad words or anything sexual or stuff like that. But yeah, that's the one that you should definitely check out if you want to get into Halloween spirit and aren't, really crazy about gore and stuff like that. All right.
Next we have Hellraiser 2.
Welcome back to hell. Just kidding. The next one we have, this was definitely a level 2.
Okay.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It just came out last year.
I still have not seen this one.
It's scary. The creatures are definitely scary.
I think it's
and-
PG-13, right?
Yeah.
It's not R. Okay.
I would say like this is a hard, like if you take Goosebumps, like the movie that came out, Goosebumps, this is like a teenager, like not a tween Goosebumps. This is like teenager, like
15 and above, 16 and above?
15
or-
for sure. Well,
Okay.
15 and above. Because it's definitely creepy. I mean, we're not talking about like 10-year-old Jesus could watch this, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching Creep Show 2 at like 10. We're talking about, normal kids, 15.
I just also want to clarify for this episode that you hesitated recommending scary movies to tell in the dark, but you wholeheartedly recommended A Quiet Place, which is rated R for children and women and anyone who's sensitive to horror movies.
Okay, maybe Quiet Place is not for children. Maybe for adults, right? Shut up. Okay, but Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's fun. It takes place in like the 60s or 70s. And it follows the book that we talked about, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah, I love
and it
those
has like
books.
it's not an anthology because it's got a story arc, but each person or each character in the movie has their own ghost that's kind of like following them. So it's like each story from the thing.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
it's the story arc is continual. It's not jumping around. The timeline's not jumping. The effects and the makeup is scary. It's really creepy. But the movie in itself, there's not a lot of gore. If you've read the books, the books would be a little scary and creepy. So just keep that in mind. Like the books are creepy in general. So now it's coming live action. So level 2, it's
Okay.
not like super. It's not gory, but it's like there's the part with the spider where the girl has spiders in her.
Gosh, yeah.
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
happens and like the spiders pop out.
Oh,
So
nice.
that could be like a little gross, but it's not nothing too intense. So I threw it on there. And then finally, we got Poultry Guys. So Poultry Guys, there's definitely scary
Classic.
elements, but I mean, this is a movie that was made by Steven Spielberg and
Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper, yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So Toby
director.
Hooper
Yeah.
definitely a scary movie director. Steven Spielberg is more like award-winning, Academy Award-winning movie, but
And it's got creepy parts for sure.
definitely has creepy parts. But it's more I call these like mainstream horror movies where it's
Yeah,
like
I could see that.
it's like a mainstream movie that like universally like you got Steven Spielberg plugged into it, so it's like, oh, this is Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like it's like I said, it's going to be ethically and appropriately scary. It's not
Right,
going to be
right.
like over the top, grotesque, or really scary, or dark, or
Yeah, too twisted or
twisted
weird,
or
yeah.
intense like that. So, Poltergeist is a movie that, I mean, if you haven't seen it, this movie is like 30, 40 years old. Oh yeah, and it has to do like there's just the poltergeist. If you know what a poltergeist, there's a poltergeist in the house, and it's kind of like haunting the people in the house, and all these scary things start happening and everything.
And I think it's scary because it's happening to a kid.
Yeah, and then it starts happening to the family.
Yeah.
So it's one of those movies that it's creepy, but I think you can handle it.
Oh, that clown underneath the
Oh,
bed.
the clown,
Oh.
the tree.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
part 1 with the skeletons in the
In
graveyard?
the
or
pool,
is that,
yeah.
or is
That's
that
when
part
they-
2?
No, that's 1.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's a lot of definitely like. Oh wait,
You
and
didn't
then-
tell me.
Okay,
My
so
house
wait,
is big.
I take this back. There is a creepy, grotesque part in Poltergeist because isn't there the part when like the ghost hunters come, and then the guy's like in the bathroom like peeling it like his.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think so I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah,
You're right.
so actually, okay.
Level 2.
I've sold myself. I'm gonna watch Poltergeist this year. I totally forgot about it. So Poltergeist is level 2. We'll take it back because I just remembered. I think I just tagged because of Steven Spielberg. I'm like, oh, it's not that
Yeah.
scary, but yeah. So Poltergeist level 2. So, anyways, those are our lightweight list movies that we can think of. Later on this month, we're gonna have not a lightweight, but we're gonna have a few lists for the kiddos because we know most of the movies they probably can't watch.
yeah.
But
You can
anyways,
watch Jaws.
yeah, I don't think it's that bad. The
Show
TV
Billy a quiet place.
Yeah, the quiet place. Shh. A Billy. Anyways, so we hope you enjoyed this list and check a few of them out. Like I said, for those of you who don't like scary movies or those of you who aren't big fans of us, one of these movies for sure will be fine. Okay, maybe not all of them, but at least one of them would be like, okay, that could get me in the Halloween spirit. But all right, guys, until the next one, happy Halloween.
See you around.